The town looked peaceful, sleepy streets bathed in golden sunlight, but beneath the surface, shadows whispered secrets no one dared speak aloud. A single phone call shattered that calm, exposing lies, betrayal, and a crime that would shake every resident. Tonight, you'll uncover the shocking truth hidden in plain sight. What happened here would haunt investigators, tear families apart, and leave the world asking, how could a town so perfect hide something so horrifying? Stay with me. You won't believe what unfolds. It started like any ordinary morning. Shops opened, children laughed on the sidewalks, and neighbors waved to each other. But Detective Harris noticed something unusual. A house at the edge of town with boarded windows and overgrown weeds. Rumors said no one had lived there for years, yet lights flickered inside. A sudden scream from the woods nearby sent the town into a frenzy. Something was terribly wrong, and for the first time, the town realized their sense of safety was an illusion. Detective Harris began his investigation quietly, asking questions no one wanted to answer. A neighbor recalled seeing a car parked late at night, then disappearing at dawn. Whispers of an old feud between families surfaced, some dating back decades. Even the town's mayor seemed uneasy, dodging questions with rehearsed politeness. Harris discovered a series of missing persons reports, strangely ignored by the local police. The evidence suggested a pattern, a dark undercurrent lurking beneath the town's cheerful facade. Someone, or something, had been hiding in plain sight for years. A week later, a body was found near the old mill, half hidden in the reeds. Forensic experts identified her as Claire Morgan, missing for months. Panic swept through the town. Everyone knew Claire. Her laughter once filled the streets, but now fear replaced familiarity. Harris noticed strange marks on her hands, signs of struggle, but no signs of forced entry. Could someone she trusted be responsible? The townspeople whispered, pointing fingers, but no one dared accuse openly. The shadows were closing in, and the town's perfect image was crumbling fast. Harris dug deeper into Claire's life, uncovering secrets she kept even from friends. A mysterious journal revealed encounters with a stranger asking questions no one should know. Emails hinted at a hidden network, people communicating in codes only insiders understood. As Harris pieced the puzzle together, he realized the danger was closer than anyone imagined. The person responsible wasn't an outsider, they were part of the town, someone walking its streets every day. Every familiar face now seemed suspicious, and the line between friend and foe blurred into terrifying uncertainty. That night, a local teenager vanished, leaving only muddy footprints leading to the river. Panic gripped the families, and parents refused to let their children out. Harris worked with the dwindling clues, noticing a strange symbol scratched into a tree near the riverbank. It matched markings in Claire's journal. The pattern was deliberate, almost ritualistic. The town began to fear an organized, hidden force. A network of secrets, woven carefully through decades, had begun to unravel. Whoever was responsible was growing bolder, and every second counted before another life vanished. The town held a meeting at the community hall, but fear silenced most voices. Only a few dared speak, recounting strange disappearances and odd happenings over the years, long dismissed as accidents or pranks. Harris realized the scale was massive, a web of lies spanning generations. Old photographs showed people no longer remembered, faces fading into time. Harris suspected someone influential had manipulated events from the shadows. Every clue pointed toward a mastermind who had infiltrated the town's power structure. The perfect mask of normalcy was slipping. Late one evening, Harris returned to the abandoned house on the edge of town. The air was thick with tension. Inside, he discovered remnants of past crimes, hidden rooms, walls covered in cryptic messages, and evidence of meticulous planning. A chilling realization struck. The house wasn't abandoned. It had been a command center for whoever orchestrated the terror. Every missing person, every mysterious disappearance was connected. Harris' flashlight trembled as he traced a trail of blood leading to the basement, knowing that what awaited could change everything he thought he knew about the town. The basement revealed a wall of photographs, names, and dates, a ledger of victims meticulously recorded. At the center, a map of the town highlighted locations tied to disappearances. Harris' stomach sank. The mastermind had planned every move, anticipating investigations and covering every trace. Suddenly, footsteps echoed above. Someone was inside the house. Harris knew confrontation was inevitable. Fear gripped him, but he had no choice. Someone had to face justice. The darkness around him wasn't just shadows, it was the embodiment of the town's hidden sins, waiting to strike. Harris called for backup, but before they arrived, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Mayor Thompson, calm, smiling, almost too composed. Harris' instincts screamed danger. Thompson confessed to controlling a network of criminals within the town, keeping people in line through fear and manipulation. He claimed it was all necessary to maintain order, but his logic was twisted. The mayor had been orchestrating disappearances for decades, hiding his crimes behind community service and goodwill. Harris struggled to process the betrayal. The person the town trusted most was its darkest secret. Thompson lunged, forcing Harris into a desperate struggle. The tension was unbearable, the room filled with echoes of fear and rage. Harris fought with every ounce of strength, knowing this confrontation could determine the fate of the town. Objects shattered around them, the sound amplifying the terror. Finally, Harris subdued Thompson, restraining him before more damage could be done. As he cuffed the mayor, he realized the scale of corruption was far worse than imagined. This wasn't just a crime, it was decades of power, control, and terror hidden behind smiling faces. With Thompson in custody, Harris began entangling the network. Every lead pointed to hidden accomplices, townspeople who had quietly aided or ignored the crimes. Investigators uncovered evidence of bribes, threats, and intimidation, every corner of the town touched by the mayor's reach. Families were forced to confront the truth. Someone they trusted had been complicit. Harris felt the weight of responsibility. The town's peace was shattered forever, and healing would be long and painful. Each revelation sent shockwaves through the community, proving that evil often wears a familiar face. The first trial revealed the horrors of Thompson's network. Victims testified, recounting fear and manipulation that had lasted years. Some cried openly, others remained silent, broken by trauma. The courtroom became a battleground for truth, exposing lies that had kept the town in fear. Outside, townspeople gathered, realizing the betrayal they'd ignored for decades. The trial became more than justice. It was a reckoning, a public unmasking of the dark underbelly of the community. Harris watched silently, knowing the journey toward closure had only just begun. As evidence mounted, more arrests followed. Residents who thought they knew their neighbors discovered disturbing truths. Friendships shattered, families were divided, and whispers of paranoia filled the streets. Harris worked tirelessly, mapping connections between perpetrators, victims, and hidden clues. Each arrest revealed a deeper layer of deceit, a reminder that evil had roots far stronger than anyone imagined. The town was forced to face the darkness it had ignored, a collective reckoning. Children who once played freely now walked cautiously, understanding the fragility of safety. In the aftermath, Harris uncovered one final secret: a hidden room in the town hall containing documents of more unreported crimes. It became clear the mayor wasn't acting alone. Powerful figures had maintained a carefully orchestrated balance of fear and loyalty for years. The town, once seen as idyllic, had been manipulated systematically. Harris knew the truth would take generations to fully uncover. The residents were left grappling with betrayal and fear, but the exposure meant one thing: the darkness, though formidable, could no longer hide. Meanwhile, families of the missing began the slow, painful process of healing. Memorials were held for those never found, and communities rallied together to support one another. Harris documented every detail, ensuring no secrets would be lost again. Yet, he felt a lingering unease. Could there still be others, hidden in plain sight? The town, now wary, began to rebuild, but scars remained. Streets once full of laughter now carried echoes of fear and caution. Harris knew vigilance was the only safeguard against history repeating itself. Detective Harris revisited the abandoned house one final time. Dust settled on evidence boxes, shadows stretched across the walls, and the air felt heavy with memories. Each corner of the house told a story of deceit, courage, and survival. Harris traced the steps of victims, piecing together their final moments. The town had survived, but the trauma lingered like a ghost. As he walked out, he looked back one last time, knowing the house, and the secrets it held, would forever serve as a chilling reminder of what people could hide behind normalcy. Months later, a mysterious letter arrived at the police station. It contained cryptic messages hinting that some perpetrators had escaped justice. Harris felt a shiver run down his spine. The past wasn't fully buried. Even after the arrests, the darkness had left traces. The town had changed, people were wary, trust had fractured, and shadows lingered in corners where children once played. Harris understood that evil isn't always eradicated, sometimes it lies dormant, waiting. The town's nightmare wasn't over, but at least, for now, the truth had been revealed. Local newspapers ran headlines detailing the horrors uncovered. Social media exploded with theories, stories, and speculation about the dark secrets of the small town. Tourists stayed away, curious yet fearful. Harris received calls from other towns, asking how to prevent similar corruption. Awareness spread, but so did fear. The small town's name became synonymous with hidden evil, a cautionary tale. Residents learned a harsh lesson. Perfection is often a mask. Trust must be earned, vigilance must be constant, and sometimes, the most familiar faces hide the darkest secrets. Harris reflected on the case, understanding that justice is never simple. Victims deserved recognition, families needed closure, and the town needed rebuilding. But the scars of betrayal would linger for years. The detective vowed to remain vigilant, knowing darkness often resurfaces in unexpected ways. Every step taken, every secret revealed, had been a fight against the ordinary turned sinister. The story of the small town wasn't just a tale of crime, it was a lesson in human nature, resilience, and the frightening truth that appearances can deceive anyone. As the sun set over the quiet streets, Harris walked through the town, memories of the past haunting him. Children laughed cautiously, neighbors nodded with guarded smiles, and the house at the edge of town stood silent, a grim monument. The dark secrets had been exposed, but the echoes remained. The town had survived the nightmare, yet a lingering question persisted. Could evil truly ever be eradicated, or would it simply wait for the next mistake, the next hidden truth, the next unsuspecting soul to stumble into darkness?